May the best man win, but this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Though that Pacquiao is going to look horrible.
Boxing is not a game to be played with analysts. Floyd Mayweather warned Manny Pacquiao before he faced Mario Barrios. He voiced his worries, pointing to Pacquiao's subpar play during the previous 5 years. Rarely do comebacks end nicely. Victories are uncommon miracles rather than anticipated results, and the majority of returning combatants struggle.
Left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And look, I can post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing, I need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao is not going to have zero legs.
Manny Pacquiao fights Mario Barrios. Analysts are extremely concerned about his health. In the cruel and violent sport of boxing, fighters frequently sustain severe injuries, particularly when they are coming out of retirement. Pacquiao hasn't engaged in professional combat for 5 years, and the physical strain and pain of the ring may be too much for his body to handle. Experts worry that as he ages and becomes less active, he may be more susceptible to long-term harm. There are significant worries regarding Manny's health in this fight, because history demonstrates that many former boxers who return to the ring face considerable health hazards, like as concussions and long-term brain problems.
Because what's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has like life-altering injuries, and that could happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary. Yeah. Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and dare I say...
Hatton, a former world champion, laughed at Manny Pacquiao's choice to resume boxing professionally after a 5-year break. Hatton said that Pacquiao's decision to return to a true world title battle so long after retiring is illogical, and that the present boxing scene is uncertain. Although he expresses hope that Pacquiao is uninjured, he says there are a lot of unanswered issues regarding the circumstances and timing of this comeback.
Mario Barrios for the WBC title, a number of years out of the ring. What do you make of it?
Well, one, I hope he doesn't get hurt. I think there's every chance he could do. Secondly, I think how has he got to a world title shot? 5th in the world, imagine if he was number 1 and 2 in the division and trained all your life to get there, and then Manny comes in after being retired 5 years or whatever it is, and goes into number 5 in the division. Boxing these days.
few fighters in history have accomplished the exploits that Manny Pacquiao has, making him an undisputed 8-division world champion. However, his decision to come back and try for another world championship has drawn criticism from both fans and experts. Many people believe that Pacquiao's legacy is already assured and wonder if it would be wise for him to risk his reputation and health by competing at the highest level once again. The criticism frequently concentrates on worries that his advanced age and extended absence may impair his ability and damage the reputation of a revered legend.
Sense, like being a world champion means you are the best in the world. You are the champion of this world at your weight class. We all know right now, at least to me, it's common knowledge that that's Jaron Boots Ennis. At 147, he is the best in the world. But he doesn't hold all 4 belts, so he is only one of the 2 or 3, I guess now, world champions. It doesn't make sense to me, and especially when now you're the WBC and you're like, yeah, let's bring in Manny Pacquiao to potentially win a world championship. And let's say he pulls it off by some miracle. Are we going to put Manny Pacquiao in there with Boots Ennis? Is that what we're going to do? I hope not. And again, this is not me trying to be a hater. It's just, I don't want to see Manny get hurt. And Barrios, you know, not the biggest puncher in the world, but he can hurt it badly. He is a volume puncher, and he will be in there against a guy that, again, isn't a natural 147. Even if he finished his career at 147, that's not where Manny was his best self. He's definitely going to be at a massive size disadvantage here. Height, reach, everything. Again, when Manny was in his prime, or, you know, honestly, when he was still in his late 30s and early 40s before he retired, he could have handled that. His speed was still there. The consistency was still there. He wasn't running for political office and doing all this other stuff and taking time off. We see this time and time again. When a boxer retires, takes a long time off, and then comes back, it usually, again, outside of George Foreman, rest in peace to the GOAT, it usually doesn't go well. And I don't think this is going to either. And it's clear to me that this is done for, you know, a staging of an event versus the actual competitive nature of the fight. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and that Manny still has it, but I'm just going to go with what makes the most sense. The WBC and whoever they partner with on this is going to try to sell tickets off of it. Okay, that's fine, but what's the point of the belt if this is the match? What are you saying as the WBC to all the actual contenders that you have ranked at welterweight for this belt?
Some observe.
According to some commentators, Pacquiao's comeback is more demeaning to boxing than even well-known celebrity bouts like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. The sentiment is based on the idea that these comeback fights put money and spectacle before real athletic competition. Pacquiao's battle against Mario Barrios, according to critics, may devalue championship fights and disappoint spectators who anticipate exciting high-caliber contests.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson. This is an outrage. People should be up in arms about this fight. This is so disrespectful. Barrios loses this fight, he should quit boxing. You let Manny Pacquiao, an old dude who stopped boxing, and then you're his first fight back? You are disrespectful as a champion.
Commentators who look back on previous fights highlight Floyd Mayweather's remarkable feat of defeating Pacquiao in spite of the fact that they were in different weight classes. Max Kellerman, a sports expert, emphasized how Pacquiao maintained his quickness and agility while rising to compete at a higher weight class. This historical background gives the conversation about Pacquiao's current comeback effort more depth by highlighting how remarkable his prime was in comparison to the current situation, while also recognizing his prior capacity to overcome obstacles.
Who would your top 5 be? Sugar Ray Robinson.
Number 1?
Yeah, and then pound for pound. See, Pacquiao he started as a flyweight champ. Not just he started his career there. He was the champion at flyweight and then moved up. There are so many divisions between flyweight and junior middleweight where he also won a belt. Even the fact that he could compete with Floyd Mayweather, who's a naturally bigger guy and one of the greatest pure boxers. Pacquiao's overall body of work, you could have him second pound for pound behind Sugar Ray Robinson.
How come I'm watching highlights of him knocking people out though, as little as he is, man?
Oh, that dude, it's the calves, man. He's got those fast twitchies and those big calves jump in on you and generate a lot of power. Crazy hand speed and power from a southpaw. Really awkward, hard to beat, lightning fast. Pacquiao was all that.
An unexpected turn of events. Manny Pacquiao has stated that he is amenable to a rematch with Floyd Mayweather, but only as an exhibition bout rather than a serious professional bout. Pacquiao has stated that he is willing to take part in such an event if Mayweather wants to move forward with it. This statement implies Pacquiao's wish to participate in well-known fights, perhaps appreciating the financial and entertainment value in addition to the competitive legacy.
A exhibition now, later on down the line.
Oh, why not? Why not? If he's willing to have a rematch with me, then
an exhibition.
I'm okay with that.
An exhibition. How does it go now? This time around, obviously, it's been quite a few years since you guys got in the ring.
It's okay. An exhibition with a decision.
With a decision, not just exhibition.
Yeah.
So for how long do you
exhibition with a decision?
Carl Frampton, a former boxer and boxing expert, was blunt about Pacquiao's choice. He implied that the danger to Pacquiao's health and reputation surpasses any possible advantages by calling the bout a joke and calling it an error. Frampton's scathing criticism reflects a widespread worry in boxing circles that returning veterans would put themselves in danger for dubious reasons, frequently monetary more than athletic.
It's a joke, really. There's the thought. It's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yep, I don't know. The WBC, I think we have a lot of time for him, Richie O'Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed allowing a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao straight in for a world title fight.
Although some detractors claim that Pacquiao is only making a comeback to get a big paycheck, Pacquiao has made it clear that money is not his driving force. He has emphasized his charitable contributions and altruistic endeavors as proof that money is not the main motivator. Rather from focusing only on making money, Pacquiao says his return is driven by a love for the sport and a desire to make history. He hopes to add another incredible chapter to his career.
Manny Pacquiao is taking on a challenge against Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios currently holds the WBC World Championship of the world. Now, a lot of people are saying that Manny Pacquiao is only doing this for a payday. And recently I saw an interview where he said that he's donated over $1 billion to multiple charities. Now, if that's the case, you guys just sound dumb as hell, because that just means 1, this man's balling, 2, this man's generous, and 3, a lot of people have been looking up to the wrong role model, because you see people like Mayweather, the richest boxer of all time, right? Buys a $30 million watch and then flexes it on his own fucking fans. Meanwhile, Pacquiao is doing the people's work, alright, man? This man's fucking trying to be president. I think he is president of the Philippines or something. He's just pulling in his weight and he's just trying to go for GOAT status, you know what I'm saying? He got, his old coach coaching him in the corner again. Honestly, I do feel like it's going to end in a tragedy, though. I feel like Mario Barrios, depending if he's nice or not, will end Pacquiao.
Renowned boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has also expressed skepticism over Pacquiao's comeback, highlighting the difficulties brought on by age and inactivity. Hearn cautions that it is extremely difficult to sustain high performance levels after years away from the ring, and that Pacquiao is no longer the explosive athlete he once was at the age of 46. The possibility of witnessing a cherished icon return to action excites some fans, but others are concerned that Pacquiao's health may be jeopardized and his legendary reputation may be tarnished by this bout.
Kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. he's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, you know, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. You know, people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, you know, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Respected boxing trainer Greg Hackett gave an honest assessment of Pacquiao's impending bout with Mario Barrios. According to Hackett, Pacquiao would have been the overwhelming favorite if this bout had happened a few years ago. The reality of today, however, is very different. At 46, Pacquiao loses the speed, stamina, and savagery that defined his best years, he noted. According to Hackett, the bout was more of a show than a real competition between two top fighters and was more of a money fight. Within the boxing fraternity, the news of Pacquiao's comeback was shocking.
I mean, but Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Manny Pacquiao has a die-hard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boobs, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money, and you want to do great things.
WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman confirmed that all approvals are in place for Manny Pacquiao to fight for the welterweight title, sparking mixed reactions. Some fans are excited to see the boxing legend return, while others worry it could harm his legacy or health. Pacquiao would be a defining achievement and solidify his status among boxing's elite. Despite the controversy, the stage is set for a clash between experience and ambition, with both fighters aware of the high stakes involved in this much-anticipated matchup.
You see the Manny Pacquiao fight. What can you learn from that fight?
You know, it showed that combination punchers. That's how Pacquiao was landing. His punches, combinations, and it just showed you that he is a great fighter. But I'm going into this camp, coming into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan, and I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he... I get he still loves the sport, but listen. You are an all-time great, a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. And why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold up the welterweight division a little bit longer.